Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Dr. Jason Tony. On behalf of the Chemistry Department, I'd like to welcome you to the University of the West Indies. As we begin our virtual session orientation, I'd like us to follow the following etiquette rules. One, please, for the participants, turn off your cameras and keep your mics muted. At any point in time, you'll be allowed to ask questions, but please post them in the chat box. We'll have members of staff waiting and standing by to answer all your questions. When the floor is open for questioning at the end of the session, please use the raise hand function in the React tab, and we'll call upon you, and then you should unmute and speak directly with us. Everybody's familiar with Zoom. Do we know how to use the chat functions and how to use the raise hand functions? You could put that answer in the chat. I believe I'm seeing a good bit of messages coming in the chat, so that sounds like a yes. So also, we want you to be interactive with us. So if at any point in time you see something that you really like, or you just want to say, hey, good job, we like what you're doing, we want you to react using emojis. So to do so, just go down to the Zoom tab to the bottom, and on the React tab, you could do things like clap your hands, give us a fire emoji, anything like that. So could we try that, please? Could you just give us a round of applause for everybody for showing up and being almost on time? Nice. Our final etiquette rule is to please use your government name when interacting with us. So we'll know who you are and we can address you properly. So if you have any name like Uzumaki Naruto or Wilboss 868, we rather see who you are so we could address you properly and we could answer you directly. So please change if you have any nicknames from any of your previous party Zoom chats. Please change your names, please. But for the most part, for everybody who I saw, they had their actual government name. So that's cool. At the end of today's session, we'll be giving you a feedback form to fill out. A link will be placed in the chat, and we implore you to tell us what you liked about the session, as well as the ways we can improve for the following sessions we have with you, or for the following cohorts coming in future years. Our agenda today is as follows. We are going to have an introduction to our staff members, followed by a brief overview of the programs offered by the chemistry department and career paths that can follow your degree. After this, we'll talk about navigating our level 1 courses and labs, inclusive of safety on campus, time management, and then we're going to have a presentation by our Student Chemistry Association, also known as ChemIA. Finally, we're going to talk about our registration process for your courses you're going to have to register for. And then we're going to close the session with some question and answer segments. And that's the time when you'll be called upon to unmute your mic and be able to interact with us directly. This picture of this gentleman here is Dr. Arvind Kumar. He's our head of department, but unfortunately, he could not be with us here today. He does, however, send his regards and wishes you all the best in the next step of your academic journey. So, in between our feature presentations, we'd like to show you some videos from our graduates. They will share their perspective and give you an up-close look at different career paths and how their chemistry degree connects to their real life working in their everyday lives. I hope the insights from our alumni will give you a better understanding as to where an education in chemistry can lead you. Along with these videos, we'd also like to play an interactive game based on the general chemistry knowledge and the information presented to you in the different presentations coming up. Has anybody heard of Kahoots? If you have, please use the not the raise hand, but the thumbs up function. So
Most people have done Kahoot. But we're good, we're good.
Okay. So Kahoot is a game-based learning platform geared to encourage learning over the internet. You'll be given a link to the chat to access our game. However, we want you to open that link on a secondary device. Please consider the screen that you're using now to view our presentation as your primary device. So this is the device you're going to use to look at the questions posted, and they give you the answers to choose from. However, we want you to log into the link on a secondary device, be it your smartphone or another tablet that you might have, and there you'll be able to input your answers. So again, when we're doing these Kahoots, please use your real name because prizes will be given to the top 10 participants. Please note that points will be awarded for not only having the correct answer, but also how quickly you answer. So that doesn't mean you should just click whatever answer you see firstly. You have to get points firstly. It must be the correct answer. And then after that, it depends on how quickly you answer will determine how many points you get. So Dr. Beckles, do you want to do a trial run, or we'll just get into it when we start with the Kahoots?
You start. And I see Brianna has her hand up. Go ahead, Brianna.
Thank you, Miss. I just wanted to ask, what if we do not have access to a secondary device? What then?
No, use what you have, my dear.
Okay.
It's just easier if you have two, but if you don't, no worries.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you could just pull them up in side by side on split screen or something like that. But it would have just been easier for you to look at this one screen to see what the questions and the answers are, and use the next screen to actually input your answer. But of course, if you don't have a secondary device, please just use what you have.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. So moving along, our chemistry department is a tight-knit community which exists between our students, our staff, and our faculty. There's a culture of excellence amongst our students, coupled with our nurturing faculty that constantly strive to ensure the success of our hardworking students. And let me repeat this again, our hardworking students. Our faculty and staff will provide the guidance and training for you as you begin your journey with us. So our first video presentation will introduce you to the department, and here you'll be introduced to some of the key members of staff that you'll become quite familiar with along your journey with chemistry. Right. So those, we just saw some of the faces that you'll get to learn on a way with your career with chemistry. So next up, we're going to show the first career video and followed by our first round of the Kahoots game.
So you started a degree in chemistry, and you're wondering what employment options are available to you when you're finished.
Chemistry allows you the stability of a 9 to 5.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Crystal Pereira, and I am a part of the all-female blending team in Angostura Limited. I work in the new product development or NPD department, and I am the NPD lab analyst. I started working at Angostura in 2018, and I was originally placed in the quality assurance department. In late 2019 into 2020, I began cross-training in NPD, and I was officially transferred to my current position in 2021. Angostura is one of the leading rum producers in the Caribbean with a wide portfolio of rums, such as our premium rum range, our Wild Took line, our Forest Park Puncheon, and the list goes on. Of course, we are famously known for our world-renowned Angostura aromatic bitters, our orange bitters, and our cocoa bitters, with a geographic reach of over 170 markets. Aside from our alcoholic beverages, we also produce our non-alcoholic carbonated soft drink line, our Angostura Chill. We are continuously striving to drive innovation, and at NPD, I am responsible for product development and liquid conception. I must ensure that the product adheres to local, regional, and international market regulations, and also that it has the required organoleptic parameters before it is bottled. Developing a product, specifically a rum, entails or involves a lot of flavor chemistry. The flavor of the rums originate from a series of reactions that occur when the alcohol is cast. When alcohol interacts with the wooden barrels, many flavor compounds known as congeners are produced. And these congeners are your typical esters, your ketones, your organic acids, and your long-chain fatty acid esters. I majored in chemistry with 2 minors in applied chemistry and analytical chemistry. And my undergraduate program has directly assisted me with developing my career at Angostura Limited. Learning things such as organic reactions, root cause analysis, analytical instrumentation and methodology, as well as the kinetics of reactions, all helps me with rum aging and rum development. That being said, I would like to say congratulations for 2 things. The first is congratulations for successfully enrolling in the University of the West Indies as a new incoming student for the academic year 2022 to 2023. Secondly, congratulations for letting good sense prevail and deciding to pursue chemistry. Before I go, I'd like to share 2 pieces of advice. First is to do what you like and what you are passionate about. Originally, I secured a place in the Department of Engineering. However, I realized that mathematics and physics were not my passions, so I decided to continue and stick to chemistry. The second piece of advice is to seek an internship during your undergraduate program. What this does is that it allows you to link real-world application to your theory, and also to gain a step into industry and build a rapport with people. Because later on, when you're applying for a job, most oftentimes they would require some sort of job experience.
Hi, my name is Riaz Hussain, and I currently work at Answer Coatings Limited, where I've been working there for the past 2.5 years, providing coatings, also known as paint, to Trinidad and Tobago as well as the wider region. So within my capacity there, I have been able to conduct deep dives into research and development, consisting of optimizing paint formulations to enhance the physical and the chemical nature of the paint, to ensure that it's not only about color and aesthetic, but it's also about protecting your assets. And I think to accomplish this task, you need to have a comprehensive understanding of chemistry. The fundamentals and versatility of chemistry gives you the confidence to conduct the necessary analytical tests and trials to be able to manipulate paint formulations at a molecular level to achieve the final desired product that you would like. And this versatility also brings a wide array of opportunities. I can definitely be an advocate for this, as through this application throughout my career, I have been able and privileged to work within the health sector, the oil and gas sector. I've worked in the plastic manufacturing industry, and as I've said, I'm currently working in the coatings manufacturing industry.
I'm hoping you guys appreciate the insight from our recent graduates. Next, we're going to go to the first round of Kahoots, and I'm going to ask Dr. Denise Beckles to go ahead and take it away, please.
Great, thank you, thank you. All right, I'm going to share my window. What did I do? All right, there we go. Oh, that's okay. Here we are. Hopefully you are seeing, yes. All right, so what you're seeing on the screen is the, turn this down. What you're seeing on the screen is the login. So what you need to do, you can take your phone if you have your phone, and you can use the QR code. You can join with the web page www.kahoot.it and put in the game pin 790-9277. So far we have 2 players. I know we have a lot more of you in the room, so we'll give you a moment to join on. Do try and leave yourself joined, so we don't have to do this every time. We have a few of these games that are coming up, and as Dr. Tony said, we have a prize to the best 10 Kahoot players today. So we have some opportunities for a little bit of fun, and not only fun, but I guess also some benefit to you as well. Right, so let's see. So far we have 21 players. And by the way, I see some chemistry department people in there. You are not eligible for any prizes. No, only students. Only students. I see somebody. Brianna, yes? You have a question? Go ahead.
Miss, I'm Jennifer. And all they're showing me on my screen, okay, I see, like I joined now, but I am not seeing the other players come up on my screen. I just seeing myself.
I don't know how Kahoot works, but I guess once you are joined yourself,
all it's saying is you're in. See your nickname on screen, but I'm not seeing the other players on my screen. I'm just seeing me.
Okay. Well, I think once you are in, I think that's all that matters, so that you can be sure to take part.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I have, right, yes, and I see you here as well. You are Penguin. So we're all good.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. Nice. All righty. So we have 24 players. So I think that is but Dr. Facey is saying only host sees all the players. I'm not that familiar with Kahoot, so thank you, Dr. All right, so let's go. Here's the first question. And let's jump in. All right, so Okay. You have 20 seconds. I didn't have the. Okay, so most of you are paying attention and got it right. Excellent. So we'll come back to the next Kahoot shortly. And I will hand it back to our host, Dr. Tony.
Thank you so much, Dr. Beckles. I hope you guys are having fun with the game. And I know you guys will be competitive spirit will just jump up in you and you guys want to make sure you get one of our 10 prizes. And considering there are at least 20-something of you guys, not everyone can get it. So please remember everything that we say and answer quickly. So whether you are considering the possibility of chemistry as a major or a minor, the journey towards a rewarding career will start right here with us. Our curriculum provides students with an outstanding training for a variety of career pathways, such as careers in chemical industry, pharmaceutical sales, or teaching profession, to name a few. So to elaborate a bit more on this topic, let's welcome Dr. Michael Ford to give us a brief overview of the programs in chemistry and how they are connected to possible careers. Now, Dr. Ford is our senior lecturer in materials chemistry, so we could all give him a little clap to welcome him to welcome his presentation. Over to you, Dr. Ford.
Thank you, Dr. Suni. My audio is clear? Let's just check.
Maybe you could carry it up just a little bit,
yes,
but I'm hearing you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. You should be seeing on your screen right now a slide that says UB Synthesis
Yes,
Campus.
we're seeing the presentation.
Good. Excellent. So let's get going. So welcome to everyone, all of course, my colleagues who are here and our valued students. And I'm really very happy that you've taken the time to join us today. And also that you're going to take the time to come and learn a bit about chemistry and also learn a bit more about us, because we are really, really very happy that you're doing this program. I'm going to put my screen on full screen now. And today I'm just going to talk a little bit about our chemistry programs and options, and also how those options can lead to successful, rewarding careers with long, healthy, joyful life for you. So if you're thinking about anything else, I want to tell you that chemistry is a subject that you need to do. Chemistry is really, I see it as a global community. If you're a chemist in Trinidad, you're also a chemist anywhere you go. And chemists will look out for each other. And today we'll look at some of our programs. And at the end of that presentation, we're going to have some a cool question, career video. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about your very first theory course that you will be doing in the department. And also give you some tips on how to leave the doors open to do more chemistry as you go throughout the program. So I like this picture on your screen because chemistry is really about building blocks. And you would see how our program is built. As you go through it, you'll realize that it's geared to help you to progress in chemistry. Everyone says, oh, chemistry is hard, it's hard, it's hard, I can't do it, it's tough. It's actually not tough. The way a chemistry program is set up is so that you move from stage to stage with ease. And I want to tell you, you can move through our program with ease. You can be successful. You can get those A's. You can graduate to first class honors. You could walk with your head held high when you reach graduation if you follow what we advise. That's the key thing. You got to follow what we advise. We've walked the road. We have done it in several different types of universities all over the world, in the Caribbean region, etc. So we do know a bit about what we're talking about here. So we have in our program, you would have probably signed up to do, hopefully, chemistry as your first choice. Yes, if you didn't, that's no problem. You can switch to chemistry as your first choice, and we want to encourage that as well today. So if you did that, you'd realize that the chemistry program has a number of majors. There are two majors. There are a couple minors in the program. And also there is our, I suppose we want to call it flagship option, which is the BSc in Chemistry and Management. The way the program is set up in the Faculty of Science and Technology is that you can actually mix and match what you do. You could do a double major, you could do a major and 2 minors. There are also some BSc programs that are a bit more restrictive, and so I will give you some information on that. So most people will go for our chemistry major option. As you can see on your screen, if you look at it, you're seeing building blocks again. Foundation courses are not chemistry courses, unfortunately. We'd love to teach you more chemistry, but university says you need 9 credits. That means you need 3 foundation courses at 3 credits each. And I suppose in your further orientation, they'll tell you about language requirement if you don't have that. But there are some introductory courses in level 1 that if you're doing a chemistry major, you need to do. 12 credits mean that you're going to do 4 3-credit courses. 3 of them are theory courses. 1 of them will be a laboratory course that is spread across the entire year. But in addition, you can also do other credits in biology, mathematics, physics. You could go outside of the faculty and do a course maybe, but you need to be really careful about that. And that's why you have to go to academic advising. And you need to listen to what is said there, because they're going to tell you what you need to do to progress through your program so that you don't end up in the final year doing first-year courses, which happens all the time. So academic advising, if one thing you remember, academic advising is important. As you progress in the program, you go to level 2, and usually do 15 credits in level 2 in the chemistry department, and 15 credits at level 3. The level 2 and 3 courses are really spread amongst analytical, physical chemistry, inorganic and organic chemistry, and also laboratory exercises. And then, of course, in the final year, we have a research project, which is where you get to do a project that is agreed between yourself and the academic supervisor for a semester. You will realize if you read the information online or the faculty handbook when you get it, that it seems some credits are missing for you to graduate. And that's because when you do a major, half of your credits are done in the department, half are done elsewhere, unless you do a double major. And we would like you to do a double major in chemistry, right? If you do a double major, you're going to be able to do another 30 credits in chemistry, and you will come out with more chemistry, but also more well-rounded and able to go into industry. Most of the folks that you would see in our videos would have done double major or full BSc option in chemistry, because it really puts you in a different space when you spend more time with us. So the program is the same, with the exception that you have for the second major another 30 credits. In this case, currently our department offers only 1 additional double major, which is a major in industrial chemistry. And that is one of the options that has an internship. So you would have heard Ms. Pierre at the start talk about an internship, and other students like Riaz and us would have done an internship as well when they were with us, and that was very beneficial. So we have one program where an internship is required for you to graduate. That doesn't mean that you can't do an internship outside, because chemistry department does offer many internships to students, as many as we can get. We're actively out there pounding the pavements, getting employers to come on board and to get our students in their businesses doing working chemistry or outside of chemistry sometimes. So if you think, well, I want to do a little bit more, I want to do something else, maybe I want to mix it up, you can actually take that extra major and convert it into 2 minors. In chemistry, there's the analytical chemistry minor, chemistry biology minor, industrial chemistry minor. These mean that you're going to do 15 credits, right? 5 courses that are specific to that area. But there's also a chemistry minor. In case you don't want to do the major, you can do a minor and a major in another department. We're happy to have you as well. If you want to do minor with us, that's fine. Just keep doing chemistry till you graduate. That's all we want you to keep doing. Just keep doing that chemistry till you graduate. So these programs, you'll hear more about that as you do your academic advising. But what I want to show is that you need to have your year 1 program really well mapped out, and sign up for those courses that will allow you to progress. And when I talk about 1066, I will mention what the semester 1 introductory course. I will also mention 1067 and 68, which are the other 2 semester 2 introductory courses that if you intend to continue in chemistry, or you want to leave that option open to do some chemistry further, you need to do and complete those courses successfully. Now, our flagship option, that we have left is the BSc Chemistry and Management. Talk about this last because this program is designed to give you not only chemistry, but sufficient experience and knowledge in management to put you in a place to be more, I suppose, administration, consulting, not necessarily working in a laboratory or one of the other types of jobs that a chemist does. Now, this program is, I would say, sort of restrictive in that you have certain courses to do. There's no option. In the other ones I showed before, you have options to do different types of electives, etc. There is at least some wiggle room. So if you're interested in this program, the thing is that you need to get onto this program in year 1 because those 12 credits that are additional to the 12 chemistry credits have to be in management for you to continue to do courses in management, right? So you can ask your academic advisors about this as well. If you want to switch to this program, Dr. Beckles, I think you can actually do that after. You can switch after, once, of course, you've had the management courses in year 1, and we'll put you in place to move the program. Okay. So you've done your 3 years of chemistry. We're in the future now. This is 2024, 25 has passed, 26 has passed, 27 has passed. You're at September. You're going to walk down, walk down the aisle, walk wherever we have you walking during your ceremony at the end to get your certificate, wave your hat, take your pictures, all of that. Parents smiling. You're smiling because you graduated with a degree. You're happy. You're knowledgeable. Probably first class or upper second class. That's what we want you to do for us, right? And then you become a chemistry superstar. So what? Do you go at home and sleep on your mother's chair whole day? I don't know, your grandmom's chair? No. Do you lodge or no? You actually go for a job. Now, everyone asks, what types of jobs and careers? I don't know if it's on your mind, but smarter people will start thinking about right now, what am I going to do with my degree? Are there opportunities for me? Is it flexible? What type of salary am I going to get? How free am I going to be in my job? What type of, conditions exist? And so I would just want to take a minute to talk a little bit about careers in chemistry. And I am going to say the stuff we talk about or show you on this slide is more of the traditional career pathways in chemistry. But chemists aren't very traditional, they're kind of strange and odd, and we make our own way in life. And I'll show you a bit more about that, because many chemists are actually not going for these traditional areas to find employment, but actually creating their own opportunities, creating economies. They're uplifting villages and towns and working with governments and working even with some of these traditional companies to do new and wonderful things. And we believe our program can also help you get there. So in terms of traditional chemistry careers, the areas that most people think about, first of all, everybody thinks, well, I'm going to be a lab tech. Well, yes, you can be a lab technician. You can work in a lab. You can do analytical chemistry. That's a good job to get if you get it. But there are other things that you can do. People say, well, I'm going to teach. Yes, you can teach. And some of us, like myself, Dr. Beckles, all of us here, we entered into teaching profession. It's a profession. You can do that as well. But there are other things that you can do. So, of course, in academia, we are academics. Teaching, top priority for us. But there's also chemistry research, fundamental research, supporting research in academic institutions and in laboratories and in companies, etc. From an academic standpoint is also important. Administration and governance, many chemists actually move into that. And that's because chemists tend to have a very analytical mind. And we also do think logically as well, because our program is built like that. We build up from the atoms into the molecules, and we do it like, so we keep that through our programs. And in many countries, including in Trinidad and Tobago, that is very valued. Health and medicine, huge area, explosive area. And you can think about this because we've just come out a few years of the pandemic. And chemists were actually in demand in that, because there's so much stuff that a chemist can do in health and medicine. There we say that health and medicine really needs the chemists to continue to be good health and medicine, right? And well-being. And so, of course, lab tech is there, governance, looking at the pharmaceuticals, manufacturing, regulatory, and regulatory in terms of pharmaceuticals tends to be very well paid, especially internationally. Research and development, obviously, because many things in health and medicine are based on chemical products, chemical principles. Sales, that's actually a really popular one for Trinidad because we sell a lot of medicine here, in case you didn't know. A lot of medicine and chemists are employed there. Forensics. Now, we don't have a forensic program in Trinidad, but in the university, there is one. So in case you wanted to do that as well, and you can start it locally and branch off elsewhere after. Toxicology. Consumer products and goods. A lot of people go into this because cosmetics, fragrances, surfactants, natural products, we use it every day. And these are all based on things that a chemist would do. Although you don't necessarily have to be a chemist to own a company in this area to do manufacturing in this area. Food and agriculture. And food and agriculture that interacts with health and medicine is now very explosive. Food technology, manufacturing, health of animals, plants, soils, safety and QA/QC, that's an up-and-coming area. And in our program, we have specific courses to help get you in the right space to contribute in terms of safety, QA/QC for products. Materials, which of course you heard I'm a materials chemist, and catalysis, and all of this we do in the industrial chemistry program. But these are obviously big areas. Some of them are applicable in Trinidad, for example, bulk chemicals, metals, manufacturing, and stuff like paints and pigments, as you heard of adhesives, etc. So many of these are actually embedded regionally and higher chemists. Environment and energy, I suppose, is also a big area. The energy is probably getting bigger as we go along. You notice I haven't put petrochemicals here because not every part of the Caribbean has a solid petrochemical industry. But of course, Guyana and Trinidad leads in that way. So that's also part of it. So you can see there's a number of things you can do. It's fine. You can find those opportunities. And I want to tell you that companies have begun to hire chemists in Trinidad straight out of program, as you heard from Riaz, right? He was hired 3 years ago, straight out of the chemistry program as well. And so there is opportunity for you, but of course you need the chemistry degree to get those opportunities, right? And you need a good chemistry degree to get those opportunities, don't forget. Now, last time I thought about this, let me show you a bit more of what chemists do. Some of you should know these people. Does anybody know these people? Do these faces ring a bell? Probably say, who's this guy talking about? These people are before my time. And you might be right. So we have, of course, ex-German Chancellor, and of course, the now deceased ex-Prime Minister of the UK. And these two ladies were actually chemists. They were good chemists, and they led nations. And we hope that we might have another one soon. We don't know, because on your screen, you can see our very own, the Minister of Education. And she is a chemist. She was actually educated in our department, correct? Yes, she's a chemist. And so we always like to highlight that. So we have one of our own at the highest parts of Trinidad in authority and in governance. And governance is something that chemists do well, I would say. But beyond that, chemists make their own ways through entrepreneurship. Many of our graduates are now saying, well, I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I want to be free to do what I want to do. And my chemistry degree allows me to do that. Because I can take one product, a little bit of YouTube, a little bit of TikTok or X or Facebook or whatever it is, and that product can make me a millionaire in a few years. And people love that. And then I can contribute that way. I can develop new things. And so we want you to think about your chemistry program as putting you in the place to choose what you want to do, having rulership and ownership over your own life because of chemistry. And that's the last thing I want to leave with you, that the sky's the limit if you have a good chemistry degree. So before we move to 1066, I want to go back to Dr. Tony, who will bring the career video. We'll do another Kahoot. You'll have some fun. We'll come back and we'll do a few minutes on 1066.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ford, for that illuminating presentation. So guys, I know that was a lot to absorb in that little session, but of course, when you come to academic advising with us, we'll go through all that information with you again. And as you continue your career with us, we'll show you the different career paths, and you'll be able to hopefully meet some of these entrepreneurs, some of these scientists, some of these technicians, and even some teachers. And hopefully the minister we could also meet the minister, who's often here from time to time. So next up, we're going to go to our second career video.
So you started a degree in chemistry, and you're wondering what employment options are available to you when you're finished.
Chemistry allows you the stability of a 9-to-5.
Good day, my name is Karam Pilawan and I am a Quality Assurance Technician at Blue Waters Products Limited. I've been employed for around 2 months. So Blue Waters is a beverage manufacturing company that produces and distributes its products throughout Trinidad and to other neighboring countries. Some examples are like Blue Waters, Aqua Pure, juices, Tampico, Cran Plus, and carbonated soft drinks, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, and so much more. So my role as a QA technician is to monitor the entire process in terms of quality, ensuring that it meets specifications. So that means we monitor raw materials, we monitor the manufacturing process, and we manufacture, most importantly, the finished product. So for instance, for Blue Water, we would monitor the label application, cap application, make sure that the bottle is well, no hazy bases, and then the water itself, we monitor physiochemical parameters, so such as pH, conductivity, turbidity, and so much more. So I would say yes, my degree has helped me in preparing for the job as well as executing the job on a day-to-day basis. I would say the degree is divided into practical and theoretical. From a practical standpoint, it has taught me how to properly handle the equipment safety data sheets. So in the job, I use pipettes, burettes, meters all the time. From a theoretical standpoint, it's so much that I've learned through the degree that I would probably do it justice to answer everything, but I would say I learned how the equipment works, how the meter works, the relationship of conductivity in water. I learned proper sampling plans. I learned the documentation process, the importance of auditing, so much more. So overall, I would say the degree has helped me tremendously and is still helping me tremendously throughout my job. Thank you all so much for listening. I would like to thank the chemistry department at UWI for equipping me with the tools I needed in order to do well in my job. Thank you.
My name is Alyssa McIntosh, and I work as an assistant chemist / quality assurance quality control technician at ChemClean Limited, and I've been working there for the past 2 years. As an assistant chemist / quality assurance quality control technician, I have 2 main tasks. Firstly, I ensure that the chemicals we produce conform to company standards during the manufacturing stage via rigorous testing. I also ensure that the products conform to company standards during the filling and packaging stages. In addition, I conduct research and development to produce new products for the company, while also continuously improving any formulations that we may have that are experiencing any non-conformances. So my training at the University of the West Indies really assisted me in my current job. One of the biggest things we learned at UWI was good laboratory practices, and that's something that sticks with you when you have to do these type of jobs. Good laboratory practices involves ensuring that the lab is clean and orderly, but also ensuring that you follow instructions properly, you maintain things properly. And in my job, I rely on that heavily. In my job, we have to use a lot of formulations and actually make products in the lab. And through good laboratory practices, I'm able to function well in the lab, able to make sure that things are orderly and that I follow the formulations properly. In addition, my training at UWI helped me with research and development. As part of UWI, you do a lot of studying, a lot of research to create a lot of projects. And in my job, you have to do R&D for customers. Let's say the customer wants something new. Thanks to the experience that I gained at UWI, I'm really good at researching to get what the customer wants, while also ensuring that through basic chemistry, that this product will work. Because with my degree in chemistry, you also learn how chemicals interact. While it will not be a something that you will follow word for word in your job. It creates a great foundation for you when you have to actually practically do it in your job. Lastly, through my experience at UWI, I learned about quality, all aspects of quality management, as well as quality management systems. Through that, I was able to learn things like ISO standards, and these things come back to you in your job because these are what majority of companies follow. So I'm really grateful to my experience at UWI.
Right. One important thing to note about those last career videos that we saw there, Kyle is a recent graduate from here. When I say recent, I mean he literally finished in May. And he went on internship through the university to his current employers, and they loved him so much. They loved the way he worked. They loved the way he thinks. They hired him on the spot. So we provide opportunities as well for internships when you're in your final year. And if you do really well and apply yourself, you don't have to worry about looking for a job. The job will find you. Now I'm going to turn over to Dr. Beckles to go our second round of Kahoots.
Okay, so let's jump in. We are on to our here's scoreboard. Salma is on top. And so now we are on to our second question. Guess the element. Perhaps not guess. All right. I'm now looking at the screen. I realize I should have chosen a different color for Salma. But anyway, next time. All right, so let's see where we are with our leaderboard. Okay, Salma still on top. And Jesse has been moving quickly. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so that's it for number 2. And we'll come back in a little bit and we'll see if maybe Brianna can unseat Salma from the top of the scoreboard.
Yes, let the competition continue. We still have 4 more rounds of Kahoots to go. So don't worry if you don't see a name on the leaderboard just yet. With the correct answer and good timing, you could reach up there. So now we're going to be returning to Dr. Ford, who is going to talk about one of the courses that you'll be doing in this upcoming semester, starting September the 2nd, which is Chem 1066, also known as Introductory Chemistry 1. Go ahead, Dr. Ford.
Okay, thank you again. So this is going to be a really quick one because there is action orientation for 1066 in the first week. Freshers are moving into party in the start of the year, but 1066 is not a party. Trust me. You need to come into that course with your head on. You need to realize that this is your foundation for your whole chemistry program. We're going to be talking about molecules and atoms, into molecules, how they interact, how they bond, and without bonding, you're not going to be able to do anything in chemistry, right? So I'm going to say from week 1, you need to know this is a serious course. You can't lapse in it. It's not a party. And Dr. Taylor is one of the primary lecturers as well. He's not here today, unfortunately, but he's not going to make it a party either because he wants you to succeed in your program. Now, the first thing I want to tell you, number 1, this is large class dynamics. You're going to have 150, maybe 200 people sitting in a room. The lecture is going to be, it's going to be a large room. You're going to be just looking at the lecture at the front. The lecturer may not see you sitting at the back. This is not a small classroom. You're not going to get individual attention for everybody in 200 people in a room with one lecturer. However, there are tutorials. And so you're going to get usually 2 lectures every week and 1 tutorial session to make up your 3 hours for this course. Those tutorial sessions are extremely important because that's when you get the one-on-one. That's when you get to ask all of your questions, when you get people looking over your work, giving you that assistance that you need to develop the understanding of the chemistry that's being taught. Now, obviously, if we have 200 people, we have to have many tutorials. And we have probably at least 10 tutorial slots. Some of them are happening at the same time. So you need to sign up for a slot. Try not to be moving from slot to slot because the group works well with their particular tutor. If you, of course, have clashes with other courses that you'll find when you get your timetable, you choose a slot that you can attend. Don't choose a slot you can't attend, obviously. But you have to make sure that you attend, because at the UWI, in the FSC, we have a 75% attendance rule. So if you slack off after week 4 and you don't come to classes, and we know that, we can actually say, listen to university, you haven't been attending classes, we don't think that it will be suitable to allow you to do exams. Right? I'm not trying to scare you, I'm just giving you the realities of rules and regulations. And that's because we know from very many years that if you don't attend, chances are you're going to fail. Fail. Some of you may have never failed a course before. And from the first time you get your C, I remember my first year, I cried, tears, crocodile tears. You don't want to fail. The thing is, to go from level 1 to level 2, you need to have level 1 courses finished. And this course only runs once per year. So if you don't, come with the right attitude to this course, do what you need to do, and you don't pass this course, then you have to maybe do a summer option, which you have to pay for, or do it the following year, which the government will make you pay for. So we don't want you to pay. Do it the first time. If you have GATE, do it well, pass the course. And we will help you with that. In week 1 of the semester, there's orientation. Note that we don't really start full teaching in week 1 because we want to tell you all the things you need to know to get through this course. Once you've registered, I think Dr. Beckles might be talking about that later. Once you've registered, you're going to have the ability to go to see the course shell on My eLearning, right? Which will be out probably next week. When you see that course shell, you'll see everything to do that course. We administer courses through an online platform, and you'll need to become comfortable with that. And in week 1, we'll carry you through how to navigate those course shells. Finally, in terms of 1066, there's normally 2 lecturers involved in that course, teaching half of the course. There are a number of tutors who you will get to meet and greet with. Our tutors are really excellent people. They will help you through your program, but you can always reach out to us outside of that. 1067 and 68 are required. Those are semester 2 courses. So we're thinking ahead if you want to keep your options for chemistry open, right? Some people, for example, who do biochemistry or biology, etc., would say, well, I don't need to do those courses. It is advisable, especially if you're doing biochemistry, that you do those courses. If you talk to your biochemistry folk, when you do that orientation, you ask them, they will tell you, it will help you, right? For the others, we want you to do chemistry. If you think you could, go ahead. If you had a good time in 66, your grades came out good, do register and continue with the program. So you made the right choice. We can assure you, I'm smiling. That means I'm happy. And if I'm still happy after all these years, I'm sure you could be happy with your chemistry too. Thank you for listening. And I'm going to hand you back over now to Jason to do our next video and Kahoots.
Thank you very much, Michael. We really appreciate all the effort you put into your presentations. Next up, we're going to have the 3rd career video, followed by the round 3 of Kahoots.
So you're starting a degree in chemistry, right? And you want to know what employment options you have when you finish. Did you know that chemistry is a gateway into other careers?
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Beckles. I am a regional project manager with HDF Energy. HDF develops hydrogen power projects across the world, and my remit is the Caribbean region, where we are developing a hydrogen project right here in beautiful Barbados. I have been in projects practically my entire career. I've been a project coordinator, a project administrator, I've been a project manager, I've been a portfolio manager, and now as a regional project manager, I develop renewable energy projects. So how have I been successful? Well, my chemistry degree. I am a scientist, so I can make myself understood to people who are much more technical than I am. and I can learn a hell of a lot faster than people who are much less technical than I am. So you see, if you're thinking about chemistry, it's not a bad way to go. Opens up the world. Good luck.
That was one of the unique experiences where somebody is not particularly, they don't have the actual title of quote unquote chemist, but their strong chemistry background opened the world for them to just go and do and be awesome, like all our chemists are. So again, we'll be turning over to Dr. Beckles now for round 3 of Kahoots.
Yes, cool. And you might have noticed that that person was probably related to me. But she actually did, her degree was chemistry and management. So Dr. Ford was telling you earlier about how chemistry and management can work well. And she was actually in the first cohort to do chemistry and management here at UWI St. Augustine. So, but let's move on. We are back to our Kahoot. So I hope everyone is ready to go, because I'm going to click the next button and read the question. It's number 3. Uh-oh, I should have put this question later. This one, I might have to do a... question was coming up next. It should have been after Dr. Pinkel's section. Yes, might have to give everybody a bly on this one. It should have been after Dr. Pinkel's section. Anyway. Well, Salma is still on top. Oh my goodness. All right. So Brianna is coming up. Ashley as well. So looking forward to seeing who is on top after the next one.
Thank you very much, Dr. Beckles. Of course, don't feel like we robbed you. Yes, we did know the answer, but some of you guys may have seen me trying to sell out the answer in the video itself. But everybody was disenfranchised the same way. So we're still all on equal footing. Next up, I want to introduce Dr. Ramesh Pingle, who is a lecturer in organic chemistry as well as our laboratory manager. He's going to brief us on health and safety here in the department, as well as take us through navigation of Chem 1070, which is our introductory chemistry laboratory course, which we will be doing for the entire first year of your study with us. Dr. Pingle?
Right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Department of Chemistry. So before I start, I just want to welcome you all to our department and also to this course, Chem 1070, which is one of the more exciting lab courses in the department. This is where you can apply some of the stuff that you learned in the courses like Chem 1066, 67, and 68 in the lab. So you can actually do some of those things that you saw and heard about in the lectures. You can actually do them in the lab. So the laboratory course is always a very exciting and a nice place to be. So let me just get my presentation on full screen here. Right, I think everybody's seeing my screen now. Yeah, okay. So in this presentation, I will give you a brief overview of the introductory chem course, Chem 1070, and I will also give you a short introduction or a brief introduction to safety in the lab. So the Chem 1070 lab course is a 3-credit year-long lab course, and as Dr. Ford indicated, it's conducted in both semesters 1 and 2. Credits for this course will be earned at the end of semester 2, not at the end of semester 1. This course is 100% coursework evaluated, so no final exams. I'm sure most of you will be happy to hear that. So what is 100% coursework? This course is about. So in this course, we have 3 types of course assignments: general laboratory exercises, of which there will be at least 7 experiments which you will do each semester. There will be a lab skills evaluation at the end of semester 1 after you've had about 7 of the experiments completed. So we test you on your lab skills evaluation at the end of semester 1. And at the end of semester 2, after you've completed all of the experiments, you get an opportunity to do a lab mini project to apply some of the knowledge that you learned over the past year. So let's turn our attention to what the course is about. You will be required to attend 1 4-hour lab session per week held on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, 1 to 5 p.m. All the lab sessions will be held in face-to-face mode in Lab A, the Chem 1070 lab. Remember the Cahoots question? Located in the C1 building. Good. You will be required to sign up for 1 lab session each week, right? So you will assign yourself to one of the lab sessions, Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, and they're all held from 1 to 5 p.m. So you need to select 1 lab session, and then you will attend that lab session for the entire semester. So to sign up for a lab, you will be required to log into the Chem 1070 course module on My Learning from Tuesday, the 27th of August. That's the time from which you can start selecting your lab session, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, so that when you come on the first week of the semester, starting from September the 2nd, you will know exactly where you need to go, which is in Lab A, to start up your introductory chemistry lab course. So each student will be required to sign up for 1 lab session no later than by Saturday, the 31st of August. So remember those dates. Lab signing up starts on My eLearning on the Chem 1070 course module from the 27th of August until the Saturday, the 31st of August. So that's the last time you will get an opportunity to sign up for a lab. I will leave the options open so that even if you are signing up, you missed the time, you can still sign up until Monday, the 2nd of September. In the first lab session, which will start on September the 2nd, we will actually be starting with the introductory aspects of the course. This would be teaching you how to use a balance. The balance is that apparatus you will use to weigh items, your chemical reagents, and so on, to 4 decimal places and 3 decimal places. There are 2 types of balances in the chemistry introductory lab. You will also be taught how to use volumetric apparatus, just as what Crystal Pereira was saying in her videos, and Kyle about using pipettes and burettes and volumetric flasks. You will be taught how to use those pieces of volumetric apparatus properly. You will also be assigned a lab locker in semester 1, which will be assigned to you, and you will use that for the entire semester. Further instructions on safety will also be given during that first week of labs. Now let us turn our attention to the types of materials that you would need for this lab course. You would need to get the Chem 1070 lab manual. Now the Chem 1070 lab manual will have all of the experiments that you will do for semester 1. You will have a second lab manual in semester 2 with all the experiments for semester 2. So starting off the semester, you will see the lab manual for semester 1, and this will be located on the Chem 1070 course module on My Learning. You will also need to get a lab notebook, a pair of safety glasses, important, very, very, very important. There are 3 types of safety glasses we provide. One is the regular safety glasses, which is shown on the left side of this, on the lower part of the slide here. You can also purchase safety goggles, which is on the extreme right of the screen here, on the bottom right side of the screen. These are safety goggles. So note the differences between the regular safety glasses and the safety goggles. The safety goggles give you more protection to your eye. So there's no splashes from the sides and so on. Whereas the regular safety glasses, if you're manipulating and transferring and handling liquids, you can still have splashes from the side. So it's better to use the safety goggles. And the regular safety glasses and the safety goggles are for persons who do not wear prescription eyewear, okay? So I can't use those two safety glasses. For me, because I wear prescription eyewear, I would need to use an OTG glasses, which is over the glasses, safety glasses. So I would need to wear a pair of safety glasses that fits over my prescription eyewear. You will also need a lab cloth and a lab coat. Now, where do I get these items? The lab manual, as I said, will be provided on My E-Learning on the Chem 1070 course module. The lab notebook, the safety glasses, and the lab coat you can get from the chemistry department in the lab. Now, the cost of each of these items are shown on the screen. The lab notebook costs $60. Safety glasses, regular, $30. Safety goggles, $56. And OTG safety glasses, $48. So those are the prices you will have to pay. And a lab cloth is $3. Where would you get a lab coat? Now, a lab coat you can purchase at any safety store, but you can also get a lab coat in our UWI bookshop located on campus. You can purchase a lab coat there. Now, the Chemistry in Action Club, which was mentioned earlier, they also rent lab coats. I'm not too sure if they're selling this year, but I'm sure that they are renting lab coats to students this year. Okay, so further instructions on how to purchase these items, which you will have to go to the administration building to purchase these items and bring the receipt to the chemistry lab and give it to our lab technician in lab A, in the Chem 1070 introductory lab. In the C1 building, you will give it to the lab technician there and in that lab, and he will provide you with the necessary materials. Further instructions on how to purchase these items will be provided on the Chem 1070 course module on My E-Learning. Okay, so I've spoken about Lab A, the C1 building, but where are those buildings and where is that lab located? Let's see. So let's look at the map of St. Augustine here, and you would see on the western perimeter of the campus along University Drive, you will see building 45, this yellow building here. That's the C1 building. So make sure you know where the C1 building is. Now, just so that you don't get confused, in chemistry, we have 4 buildings. The C1 building, which is building 55, the C2 building, which is the next building here in yellow and this brown. Then there's the C3 building where the chemistry general office is, where you can go to meet the secretaries and the administrative assistants and some of the staff that you saw in the first set of slides. So that's the C3 building. And this building here, which is alongside the C1 building, is the C4 building. Now, the C4 building is one building where you will have most of your lectures, right? And tutorials. And in that building, we have classrooms labeled C1, C2, and C3. Those classrooms, C1, C2, and C3, should not be confused with the C1 building, which has all of the labs, all of our undergraduate labs and some postgraduate labs and lecturer's office in the C1 building. So the C1 building is separate from the C1 classrooms, the C2 classrooms, and the C3 classrooms where you just have lectures and tutorials and so on. And those classrooms are located in the C4 chemistry building. So don't get confused or too muddled up with the codes. Hopefully you will get it with time. Now, where exactly is Lab A in building 55, which is the C1 building? Now, located on the eastern end of the C1 building, where I'm pointing here, on the ground floor, you will find the introductory lab, Lab A. So let's see what the C1 building looks like. This is a picture of the C1 building, and you can see here, there's a sign in the middle of the building here on this first floor, which says C1 building. The entrance to the lab A is located on the south side of the eastern end of the C1 building. So this is the entrance to lab A, which is where you will do all of your lab experiments. So let's see what the door looks like. So this is undergraduate lab A, and this is the entrance to the C1 lab A. Okay, so let me introduce you now to Andrew Ramudit. He is the technician for the Chem 1070 lab, and you will be interacting with him quite a lot during the course of semester 1 and semester 2, because he is the person that is in charge of the introductory lab, which houses all of the experiments for Chem 1070. And he is a really good, resourceful person. So please make sure that you treat him kindly and with respect, because he's a key person and he is quite helpful. So once we work within our limits, Andrew will be more than willing to help you with whatever issue you may have. For example, your burette got clogged, you carry it to him and he will provide you with another burette or unclog the burette for you. So he's an important person to get to know well and to ensure that your lab experience goes smoothly. Now, let's move in. Now, we take your safety seriously in the chemistry department. So before you enter the lab, you would need to wash your hands or sanitize your hands before entering the lab for each lab session. Once you enter the lab, you must be properly attired. What we mean by that? You should have long pants or long trousers, no short pants or short skirts and so on. It's long trousers. Everybody, a pair of jeans will be fine, but the jeans must be complete with no holes and so on in them, because they would not give you protection should something spill on you and so on. So you need to have complete full trousers, long pants, so to speak. You need to have tops that cover your entire torso and at least halfway down your upper arm. For your safety, we also require you to tie up long hair to prevent your hair getting in the way of apparatus and so on. Okay? Now, before you enter the lab, you need to get some personal protective equipment, also referred to as PPE. First, a pair of safety glasses or goggles, as you can see here, a lab coat, as we mentioned earlier, and you need to get gloves. The department will supply gloves for you during the course of each lab session. I already indicated how you can get lab coats, and you can get a pair of safety glasses from the chemistry department. And as I said, further instructions will be provided to you on how to get safety glasses and other course materials. You must also have shoes, not slippers, not sandals, not flip-flops, not anything else like that. Shoes that cover your entire feet. So running shoes will be fine, track shoes or anything like that, or even steel tip shoes will be fine as long as the shoe covers your entire feet. So we should not be seeing skin on you when you are properly attired with your long pants, your top, and your lab coat, as well as your safety glasses and gloves. Finally, for those of you who may feel still not very comfortable with COVID and transmissible diseases, you can wear a mask in the lab, but of course, when the lab is a bit warm on some days, and therefore you can take them off if you so desire, but you're well within your right to wear a face mask if you think you need it. Okay. All right. Now, our lab, the Chem 1070 lab A, is outfitted with 6 lab benches, and each bench, so this is one of the benches, and each bench could accommodate up to 8 students. So this is what one of our lab benches look like, and we are in the process of doing some renovation to our building and the lab. So hopefully, before you leave, hopefully you might be able to get a better and more attractive lab before you leave the department. So this is the lab where you will be doing all your level 1 experiments for Chem 1070. So as I said, we take your safety is a priority. And as such, the lab is outfitted with several pieces of safety equipment. The lab is outfitted with 3 fire extinguishers, and you should know the location of these 3 fire extinguishers, and they are properly labeled and so on within the lab. The lab is also outfitted with 3 eye wash stations. One is shown here, 1 safety or emergency shower, which is next to Andrew's office and between the balance room and Andrew's office, as you can see here on the western wall of Lab A. And we also provide hazardous waste containers for containing hazardous waste materials, which is the chemicals that you will be using for your experiments. So all hazardous waste materials are collected and stored in these bottles. You will be hearing more about it and these things about how to contain your waste as you do your labs during the course of the semester. Remember, all these hazardous materials that you will be using in the lab is not permitted to go down the sink. So they are all contained and put in the appropriate waste bottle for inorganic waste, organic waste, solid waste, and so on, as you can see here. The lab also is outfitted with a bin to contain broken glassware. And we also have fire detectors on the ceiling and and fume hoods for your safety. All right. As I said, the department provides gloves for you, and there are 4 different sizes: small, medium, large, and extra large. And these are located at the end of each bench on the raised portion of the bench top. So we have 4 different sizes of gloves for you. Here in the middle of the lab, I was mentioning earlier, on the western wall of the lab, you will notice right next to the emergency shower, you will notice balance room 1. This is the analytical balance room where you can weigh up to 4 decimal places. We have top loading balances. These are at the end of each bench in the lab where you can weigh roughly up to 3 decimal places. On the right side of the balance room, here you would find the distilled water station, where you can collect distilled water for your experiments during the course of each lab session. Here in the middle of the lab, and you can see this is the center bench here, opposite the whiteboard where the supervisor, the lab supervisor or lecturer will be stationed. Just opposite that, you will see the service bench. The service bench has containers, which we refer to as carboys, where reagents for each experiment is stored each week, and from which you can collect your chemical reagents for each experiment during the course of the semester. On the same bench, we have 2 hand washing stations, and in these hand washing stations, they are equipped with liquid soap for washing your hands at the end of each lab session and before leaving the lab. For further instructions on safety in the lab, this will be covered, safety in the lab will be covered in the Chem 1070 lab manual, and we will be discussing safety in the lab more in depth during the first week of our lab session, starting from September 7th. I'm starting from September 2nd, and each week thereafter, you will get some little tips on how to keep safe in the lab each week, depending on the experiment that you will be conducting. So as I close off, now let me take this opportunity once again to welcome you again to the Department of Chemistry. Thank you very much for choosing chemistry, and as all the speakers that went before and some of our students who are now in the world of work has indicated and reiterated the importance of doing a chemistry degree. So we hope, as Dr. Ford says, just do chemistry until year 3, and after that you can come back to us and probably do postgraduate courses with us. So welcome to this exciting department, and we hope that you find our chemistry courses are quite exciting and engaging, and we hope that you earn your degree and the degree that you want at the end of your stay with us. So thank you very much again, and thank you very much for your attention, and I will pass you over back to Dr. Tony.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pingle. Guys, we could see how passionate Dr. Pingle is about safety and as well getting a good laboratory experience, which is what all future employers want of you. They want you to be able to think, to know your theory, as well as to be able to perform the tasks that you are mandated. So moving along, we're going to the next career video, followed by another round of Kahoot.
So you have started a degree in chemistry and you're wondering what employment options are available when you are finished.
A degree in chemistry allows you the flexibility of being your own boss.
Hi, I'm Sharisa Khan, CEO of Vortex Sensations, natural handmade products, terrific teas where we make organic local teas, and Clan Wholesalers TT where we supply raw materials for candles and soap. I started this company with $500 TT and a dream to create affordable skincare for people all over the world. And now we have thousands and thousands of reviews from people who have used our products all over the world. After being diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, I had excessive hair loss, acne, you name it, I had it. And after countless visits to doctors with no solution, I decided to do something about it on my own. So I turned to Old Faithful Chemistry. To date, we've been in the business for about 5 years. And within that 5 years, we've done work with some remarkable companies such as the Entrepreneurship Hub of Trinidad and Tobago, the Arthur Lockjack School of Business, the Cuba Regional Corporation, the United States Embassy. It's been an amazing journey, it really has. And none of this would have been possible without my passion for chemistry. And the University of the West Indies, where I found my deep love for chemistry, a love that I already had, but just a deeper love. If I could leave you with a few words of advice, I'd say think like a proton and stay positive.
Hello all, I am Dr. Simone Walcott and I am a chemist by profession. I am the chief technician in the chemistry department at the University of the West Indies, and I am also the creator and lead chemist at the online variety and cosmetic store called Indulgence Why Resist. I formulate various products to treat a variety of skin and hair issues for both men and women. And we have an excellent track record of referrals and repeat business. My chemistry degree was quite advantageous as it equipped me for this role. Firstly, it gave me the knowledge of how to combine masses and volumes to achieve particular concentrations in my formulations. The ability to troubleshoot various issues that arose during the conduct of laboratory exercises was also particularly beneficial. Learning about the proper handling and care of laboratory glassware and equipment also served me quite well, especially when I obtained my own inventory. Further, advanced understanding of natural product chemistry allows me to select the best ingredients for my clients' unique needs. My advice to you as you begin this journey in the chemistry department is to take full advantage of your time with us. And remember that your only competition is the person you were yesterday or last week or even last year. So in closing, allow me to wish you a successful journey through your chemistry degree. Thank you for listening.
Those were some wonderful examples of some entrepreneurs that chemistry has nurtured. Next up, we're going to round 4 of Kahoot. So Dr. Beckles, please take us away.
So I hope everybody is ready to go. I'm going to click next and we'll move on to the next, I think question number 4. Yes, question number 4. Very good. This was the Terminator. One of the Terminators was made out of mercury. That might have been a little before your time, but still, it's a classic film. All right, well, Brianna seems to have unseated Salma from the top. So Salma, never fear, you still have 2 more questions. You can still, there's still a chance. There's still a chance. Back to you, Dr. Tu.
Thank you very much, Dr. Beckles. Now, when it comes to the student experience, an essential part of fitting in at university is having a sense of belonging. Student clubs and organizations can help create connections, build relationships, and expand their social skills, outside the lecture hall. Our Chemistry Student Society is called ChemIA, or Chemists in Action. Mr. Salim Ramsamouj will now speak to us about what is ChemIA, what do they do, and why we should all be student members.
All right. Hello, good day, everyone. So I am the treasurer from the UWI Chemists in Action Club, and I'm just going to share my screen now. And I just want to tell you a little bit about the club and what we aim to do. So, okay. Okay, so while it's loading, so what we try to do at the UWI Chemists in Action Club, or more commonly called the UWI Chemists in Action, is that we try to make a space where people who are doing chemistry can feel like they belong, and they can feel happy and like they belong with other people who care about chemistry as much as them. So first, I just want to introduce you to the executive members. So at first, well, now we have Ms. Candice Ramcharitar, who's our president, and we have Ms. Shrima Buddha Singh, who's the secretary. We will hear from her later on because she is one of the older members, and she will be able to talk about her experience. Next, we have Ms. Jaffa Pereira, who is the public relations officer, and you have me, Mr. Salim Ramsamouj, who is the treasurer, and I want to talk a little bit about the club. So we at ChemIA, first and foremost, we want to make your experience fun and enjoyable and fulfilling at the degree option of chemistry. So we aim to provide a space where persons who enjoy chemistry can meet others and get advice. So one of the programs that we offer is a mentorship program. So year 1s and even year 2s can get into contact with year 3s and older members who can help them with their career options and even like what courses they want to do, because as Dr. Ford was talking about, it can be a little confusing trying to figure out what course to do and when, and we will help you out with that a little bit. And we also have peer-to-peer teaching coming on to week 9, where we can help you explain certain topics of the syllabus. We also aim to provide members the ability to get to know teachers better and form professional relationships with their mentors. So through ChemIA, I have been able to get to know my teachers, not necessarily on a personal level, but more of a close-knit professional level. And they allow us to be the best person that we can, because, I mean, at the end of the day, they were once students too, and they want us to succeed as well. And most importantly, we allow students the ability to volunteer in many, many different events and help spread their love of chemistry to a wider audience. So one thing that you'll always see ChemIA doing is you'll always see us in these yellow shirts, these nice yellow shirts. And we will be going to different schools and different events to teach chemistry and volunteer and do different things to make sure that people know that, well, chemists aren't just people who stay in a lab and do experiments all day. We teach and we educate and we connect and we help people feel as though they belong through chemistry. And chemistry is often called the connecting science, and it connects the other sciences and also people of a wider audience. So we've had a few past events just in the year gone here. This is what be talking about. So some of our volunteers, along with the guidance of Dr. Facey, Dr. Weiss Mason, and Dr. Suchi Ming, helped spread their love for chemistry to 2 schools for the hearing impaired. And this occurred in December, January, I think, a little while ago now. And here you see some of our volunteers with the kids. And these are kids that would normally not be able to experience chemistry and science. And we were able to teach them about it and show them it. And hopefully later on in the future, they may go on to enjoy it as much as you and me and everybody should. And you get to see these are some of our volunteers teaching the kids along with their translator. And the rightmost picture, you get to see some of our volunteers, and you get to see Dr. Weiss Mason. She's in the bag. One thing that ChemIA hopes to do is bring this sense of camaraderie. And you will always see the people in yellow, and you'll see myself, the other members of the executive, the other members of the club around and about the school. And we hope that you will see us and feel comfortable and be like, hey, where's C1? I can't find it. Or where's so-and-so, so-and-so? And that is what we hope to foster and hope to achieve, this kind of camaraderie and this kind of connection that we have with each other and hopefully we'll have with you in the future. So I have a little video here. This is about the Chemistry for the Deaf festival that we had. And I'd just like to play it now.
Samin, when you're sharing your screen, you have to select share audio as well. Otherwise, we will not hear whatever is playing. Just a note.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just, I just like to
again.
Okay. I don't think the audio is much of a problem, but I just want them to see some of the pictures and how these kids really enjoyed this chemistry and stuff, and they got to experience some of these experiments. So this here is the chromatography experiment. So they got to make flowers and butterflies, and they got to see a lot of the chemistry that we get to experience, that you will get to experience coming these years coming up. And they get to experience a love fit and get to feel our passion fit as well too. So another one of the events that we did, so some of our volunteers, along with the guidance of Dr. Faisal Mohammed and Dr. Porter George, we helped introduce chemistry to some standard 5 students in 3 schools to help prepare them for secondary school. And going into secondary school, it can be a little tough to make the transition from general science to chemistry and physics and bio. And we hoped that we made that transition a little easier for them. So you get to see some more of this camaraderie that we did. So this was during, I believe it was sublimation bubbles, is the name of the experiment. And these volunteers were able to show these kids what it's like to enjoy chemistry. And we have our volunteers helping each other. And we have Dr. Facey there on the left-hand side. Right? So we just have a little short video again. I know it doesn't have audio. Okay. Doesn't seem to want to play. So, but this is just more pictures to show that these kids really enjoyed the chemistry and some of the experiments that they got to do along with the help of our teachers and our volunteers. So, again, you get to see this camaraderie that we have, and you get to see this togetherness that members of the club are able to experience. So these events allowed our members to discover new ways of sharing their love for chemistry and give back to their country. And these are primary school kids, and we have to somehow explain it to them in a different way that they can understand. They're not going to know all the nitty-gritty of everything. And all of these experiences look really great on our resume. So for those of you all that aim to bolster up the resume and the CV and stuff, these events look really good, along with their certificates and the tokens that you get to commemorate your time and effort. And again, participation in these events are reserved only for members of ChemIA. So to be able to participate and get these perks, you need to be a member and help contribute and do your part and also experience that camaraderie that I'm talking about. So we have a few future plans. I'm not going to spoil everything that we have for the semester, but we have a planned trip to Angostura Brewery with Biochemistry Society. And this was to learn a little bit about their safety procedures and how they formulate these projects and products that they have. We also have a movie night where we're going to see some nice chemistry related movies. And most importantly, we have more volunteer opportunities. And this is just in the works, but we have one that may potentially be a little further than Trinidad coming up soon, but I won't talk about it too much. But yeah, we definitely have a lot of plans and a very active semester coming up, and I hope that you all will be a part of it. So now I want to hand you over to Ms. Budu Singh, who will just talk about her experience in the club.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Shrima Budu Singh, and as you heard, I am the Secretary of Chemists in Action for the year 2024 to 2025. So I don't have a very long presentation. I'll just be talking to you about my experience in the club thus far, and more specifically, my experience in the volunteer aspect of things. So just a little bit about me. Coming this September, I will be a year 2 biochemistry student, and I joined the club very early on when I started UE. So 1 year ago, I was in the same position as you guys. I had my orientation. I was excited to start. This was a whole new exciting journey. What was I gonna do? What am I gonna enroll in? And I found ChemIA. So I genuinely believe that ChemIA brought the technical side of chemistry and put it into focus into our real life applications. So I'll be honest, I wasn't always a great fan of chemistry because I like the science of it, but sometimes it is a bit hard to comprehend. I mean, it's chemistry. There's a reason why not everyone picks it as a major to focus on. But me joining this club, it allowed me to get a deeper understanding of the techniques and the explanations by why certain things happen. So we did, as Treasurer Ramsuramuj spoke about, we did a Chemistry for the Deaf festival where it was hosted by our chem department at the St. Augustine campus, and we were given the opportunity to interact with children who were hard of hearing. And that presented us with a grand scheme of opportunities. So not only did we have to take our understanding of chemistry and convert it into a way for children to understand, we had to use sign language. So this opportunity brought us, first we learned basic sign language, and I personally think that's really cool. I mean, not everybody does that. So we had the opportunity to learn sign language. We got the opportunity to work with several different schools in Trinidad, and seeing the excitement and that eureka moment in these kids for understanding the chemistry, it really is a nice feeling. So as he mentioned before, we have a lot of plans set out for this new year that's coming in. And as year one, we are excited to have you guys. I can't wait to see your faces, to see you get involved, because this is your year one. This is the beginning of such a wonderful journey for you guys. And I hope you take advantage of it. It is going to, yes, it's gonna have its challenges, and it's gonna be hard at times. I mean, it wasn't meant to be easy, but you are going to definitely enjoy it. So another thing about this club, so not only was I a general member, I'm now secretary, so I am part of the executive board for this year. And being part of that has taught me so many things about myself and just so many things in general. It teaches you time management, to balance studies and club activities, or to balance schoolwork with another batch of schoolwork. It's allowed me to learn how to work as a team. It allowed me how to be open to other people's ideas and their suggestions. And these are skills that are so important in the world of work today, that is what some employers look out for. You can have the greatest of resumes or CVs, but if you don't have those interpersonal skills or being able to work with other people, that is what sets you apart. So I think joining the club is really a great way to do that, and to also have fun. We know that school life is, it's hectic, it's busy, and joining a club could, you offset stress, you learn, you interact with people, you make friends. You're part of a group of people that not only love chemistry, but they're doing the same thing. So in closing, I just wanted to say thank you for your attention. And again, being a year one is such an exciting time. You are building your network of peers, your mentors, your lecturers, all of them you're gonna meet over these 2 semesters. And I just wanna leave you with, I can't wait to see you guys next semester in the ChemIA. And I just hope you enjoy your year one experience. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So yeah, so that is Chemists in Action, ChemIA. I really hope that we will see some of you all in not only our volunteer works, but you can see us at some of the upcoming events that UE is having. So we're in the Fresh Start event on the 27th. We will have a little booth to talk about what we offer, and you will get to see me and some of the other executives and a few other members as well too. And you will also see us in Guildfest, and we'll have some chemistry related merch for sale. I know you all like stickers and pens and stuff, and all of this is to hope to drum up participation. And I really, really, really look forward to seeing you all there, and that we have fun and we get to volunteer and spread chemistry. So thank you so much for listening, and I will pass you all back to Dr. Tony.
Thank you very much, ChemIA, for the student perspective of being a member of the chemistry department. Moving swiftly along, we're going to go to another career video followed by Kahoot round number 5.
So you're starting a degree in chemistry, right? And you want to know what employment options you have when you finish. You can do chemistry for your love of the discipline.
I'm Alexandria Ali, and I am an MPhil candidate here at the Department of Chemistry in UE. My supervisor is Dr. Alvin Kumar, and my research interest is in bioinorganic chemistry. Right now, I'm working on creating new drugs for Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. So this involves using curcumin, which is an extract from turmeric. So that's a natural plant extract, and I'm combining it with already known pharmaceutical drugs to create a new drug that would work a lot better at treating different forms of dementia. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Afran Subrati. I'm currently the instrument technician in the Department of Chemistry at the University of the West Indies. I've recently graduated with my PhD in synthetic organic chemistry. The art of synthesis allows access to some of the most intriguing molecules in nature, as well as novel targets. These molecules find uses in the pharmaceutical industry as potential therapeutics and even vaccines. Apart from my love for chemistry, I have a sincere passion for circuit building. This has led me to explore the construction of low-cost laboratory devices. What these devices can do is that it can make organic synthesis and chemistry in general more affordable and therefore increase scientific contributions. My experience has taught me that chemistry is in fact one of the most fascinating areas in science, and it is my hope that it's an area that more of you would consider pursuing. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. My name is Jelisa Dorenkamp and I'm from Suriname. I'm an MPhil research student working with Dr. Ben. My research project is a mix of both analytical and material chemistry. The focus of my project is on nanosensors for the detection of pesticides. And the reason why I choose this project is because the Caribbean is facing many pesticide challenges, and one of them is that our fruits and vegetables are poisoned with these chemicals. And to do this analysis, the Caribbean needs sophisticated chemicals which are quite expensive and laborious. So to mitigate that, I'm working on an eco-friendly and low-cost sensor which is hopefully able to detect some of these chemicals.
So previously we heard the perspective from our undergraduate students from ChemIA, and that was the perspective of what chemistry is to our postgraduate students. Dr. Beckles, can we go to the next round of Kahoot, please?
All right, so you've been hearing lots of different ways or reasons why people do chemistry. So let's see if you can get this next question. So I see you all were paying attention yesterday at the orientation session for the faculty. Very much so. 5 courses this semester. What's going on? Listen, Aidan, what are you doing? Anyway, Brianna is still on top, but it's not too late. We have one more question to go. So hopefully somebody will be able to take that. Well, I don't know. Maybe Brianna will stay on top. You'll see.
Thank you very much, Dr. Beckles. So Dr. Beckles has actually been with us throughout the session as our Kahoot host. But did you know that not only is she one of our senior lecturers, but she's also the Deputy Dean of Science and Technology with the responsibility for undergraduate student matters. So she's a very good person for you guys to know and be on good terms with. She will go ahead now and guide us through how to do well at chemistry, as well as help us with our time management responsibilities. Dr. Beckles, over to you. Dr. Beckles, you're still muted.
Clicked it and it didn't unclick. Anyway, what your ChemIA, our ChemIA members mentioned, I heard some, but I can't remember who it was, but mentioned about time management and being able to juggle all the things you have to do, as well as do your work at school and so on. So we want to give you some tips. right? So how can you be successful with us as well? Right? It's pretty simple. All right, and I would say it comes down to three things. One, attitude. Two, your study skills. And three, accessing support when you need it. All right, now I'm gonna jump in with study skills because I think attitude is self-explanatory. You need to come with an open mind. You've seen our former students, our alumni tell you about all the way how they have been taking chemistry and not just stuck in one place. They moved in other directions. You need to come in with an open mind and be willing to put in some sweat. I mean, it's Dr. Ford said, oh, it's not going to be that hard. I'm like, I would say it's not the easiest subject. And I think, I think that, and somebody had mentioned, I think it was Dr. Tony, that's not why everybody does it. It's very rewarding, but I think trivial it is not. So you have to come with that attitude first. But if you have the attitude, then what can you do next? Some of the things to keep in mind in terms of study skills, note taking. All right, bear in mind that in high school, maybe your teacher was sweet and would actually dictate for you. No lecturer is going to do that. You may or may not get notes uploaded to My Learning for You. I tend to be a non-note person myself. I'm on that camp. I'm in the no note camp because I believe strongly that you taking your own notes makes you learn better. And I think there's evidence to prove that from experiments people have done. So you do have to be in the classroom, paying attention, making your notes, using your brain and shuffling through all that information and putting on your notebook what you think is important. Not everything that the person says is going to be something worth writing down, and developing that skill as to know what is to be written down and what shouldn't is part of the process of being able to work as a chemist. You do need to read. You will hear the old hats like me talk about reading for a degree, and you do need to read your textbook. It is not possible to just, Khan Academy your way through your degree. All right, so your textbook is there. It is huge. It is a complete boat anchor, but it has everything you need in it. And reading, making your own notes on the side, etc., is going to help you. You will be taking tests, but you are very familiar with test taking. You've been taking tests for a long time. Do bear in mind that the test strategies that you might have had before may have to change given the kind of and the level of depth of work or material that you'll be expected to do as an undergraduate as well. In terms of stress management and time management, I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about stress and time management because those things kind of go together with respect to your toolbox of study skills. The third thing I mentioned was support or accessing support when you need it. And it is so important, people. You do not need to suffer in silence. The university has a huge array of support options available. These are all free. Nothing here, something you need to pay extra. Your fees cover it all. So you should take advantage of it. And I would say, as I did mention, chemistry is not the easiest of subjects. So you need to be proactive. And the first person you should talk to if you don't understand something in a classroom is your lecturer. All right. We are not evil people. We are very approachable. You can come to us in the classroom, after class. You can ask a question in the class. You can ask a question outside of class. You can come to our office hours. You can come tackle us in the hallway. Lecturers are more than happy to help you organize your brain so that you can understand what you didn't get before. And I would include in that is your tutorial leaders because they are not always lecturers, but they are also people that can help you. So that's your first line of attack. You can also visit our chemistry review center, which I will talk a little bit more about later, which is you can, if there's, and so that's where you're going to get information. Those first two is where you're going to get, so the chemistry review center, basically this is not, this is for 3 days a week, for 2 hours each day, You can come to a room, CSW, and get help with any chemistry question you might have. You need help to work through a lab report. You need help. You didn't understand what Dr. Taylor said yesterday. Doesn't matter. Come with it. Once it's chemistry related, we can help. Again, there's no fee here. You don't have to pay somebody for lessons. The purpose here is to help you understand. And so if you couldn't get it in a large classroom setting, like Dr. Ford mentioned, there's a lot of people in a room. By all means, come and have somebody speak to you one-on-one about your problem. All right. So if you don't, but what if you don't have an academic problem? What if your problem is something to do with administration? All right. You have an issue with you can't get into your course. You have a problem with fees. You have a problem with you can't get onto My Learning. You know, those kinds of things. Then you want to consider, you might want to check us out in the departmental office. Mrs. Charmaine Joseph Peters is our AA. There are also, I saw Aiden in the Kahoot scoreboard. You know, so there are other people in the office who are there available to help. In addition, there's the dean's office, of which I am sort of, you have an advantage in that a chemistry person is also deputy dean for undergraduate student matters. So you can come to me with those kinds of questions or concerns as well. But the dean's office also has other staff. You would have Dr. Mrs. Suku, you would have been, if you were in the meeting yesterday, asking any questions. She was very active in answering and so on. She knows a lot. So administrative problems, things to do with the administration, you would want to come to your department, you come to the dean's office. Just as you know, the health services unit is available to students, again, free of charge. If you need anything more energetic than what is required, that is what is available on campus, your student's health insurance is used to assist with outside medical as well. So if you have a health issue, the UE has support for you. And last but definitely not least is DSSD. DSSD is the most amazing office. They provide a whole host of services to help you. And I only have a few of them here. Counseling and psychological services, also known as CAPS. Again, all of this is free of charge. You can get counseling services if you need it to help you across a rough patch. Financial advisory services, so they speak to you about ways that you can fund your program. So if, for example, if you had a flood and your washing machine wash out or all your computer got wet, there are small loans and so on that you can access to help, if you need to, you have an emergency that you just don't have funds to cover, right? In addition, they are very big in career advice and preparation. They host the World of Work program for final year students. I mean, that's a ways away from you, but they really do help to let you understand what is out there. They act as intermediaries between companies and students who are or graduates, soon to be graduates who are looking for work, for internships. They also organize work on campus if you would like to get a job on campus, etc. And last but not least on this list, and again, this is not a full listing of what they do, there are other things that they do, but they also assist with special needs. So if you have an issue, for example, if you require a reader for your examination, you need to have some kind of braille, something, you need to have your exam by yourself. You can't, for whatever reason, all of those kind of things. You need more time because you have something that requires you to take more time for your exam. They are the ones who will fix it up so that you can get all of those assistance so that you can maximize your time, right? So definitely check out DSSD. They have a lovely website and they are very keen to help. And I want to just again reiterate: please do not suffer in silence, right? We are not here. Our job is not to make your life difficult. We want you to succeed. We want nothing more than to put you on one of these videos 4 years from now, so that newcoming students can see how you have done and how chemistry has helped you achieve your goals. But if you're struggling, do not struggle alone. There's no need for that. because we are here to support, we are here to help. So just a bit more about our time management, because as I mentioned up front, we want to kind of get some information in there about time management because it's a never-ending battle with time, right? So you ask yourself, so how much time do I need? Just to let you know, you will need more time to study and do your activities and assignments now than you did over your CAPE experience, right? I'm telling you that right now. So whatever amount of time you were studying before, bear in mind, you're probably going to need to have more this time. The kind of rule of thumb is that you want to kind of commit for every credit hour per week, you should be putting at least 3 times that into study time. That would be reading your notes, putting together assignments, doing projects, all those things, studying, all those things together. Now, so you're looking at, and that is for each course. So if you're doing 5 courses, you're looking at, you're trying to say, but you mean I have to find 45 hours a week to do this? Well, kind of. And of course, it will depend. If you're better at some, you have to do a little flexibility. But if I'm telling you I have to find all of this time, you might say, well, where am I going to find that time? You think to yourself right away, there's not enough time. Well, I want to share with you something that I did not know about or didn't realize until I was a postgraduate and writing my own thesis. So it was I was well into my career as a student, and I'm sharing this with you now at the start. So hopefully you will avoid some of the pain and suffering that I had. Let's look at this. This is a typical timetable for somebody doing chemistry and biology, right? Somebody doing a double major, chemistry and biology. All right, and I want you to just take a look at this picture here. And anybody notice anything about this timetable? Anybody? Put it in the chat. It's not anything technical. I want you to just look at this picture you see and tell me if anything strikes you. A lot of bio. It's the same amount of bio as Kev. It then says a lot of time. Minnie and Charnel, free session. All right. There's a lot of time when you are not actually in a lecture, a tutorial, or a lab. And this is just Monday to Friday, pretty much 9 to 5. All right. There is a lot of time that is not involved in a class. That, however, but the mindset there, though, I want to get that right now, that time is not free time. Right? What I'm saying to you is that you need to think about your class time as work. This is Monday to Friday, 8 to 4, 8 to 5 is work. Think about this as a job, right? So when you are not in a class, does that mean you're free? No. When I am not in a class, does that mean I am free? No, I have other things that I need to do for my job at UE that I should be doing when I'm not in a class. And that's what I'm sharing with you. Think about this as your job between 9 and 4, between 8 and 4, whatever. If you are an early morning person like me, you might want to say, I started my day at 7. If you don't, fix up your business. But understand that if you're working a minimum work week, which is 40 hours a week, right? You're expected to work at least 40 hours a week. I work way more than that. Most people will tell you that in their jobs, they work more than 40 hours. But notice, if I just work a minimum of 40 hours, only 18 hours is in a class or a lab. So that gives me 22 hours a week left over that I can use to do all the other things that I need to do, including study. But if you can extend your work week just a little by 1 hour. So instead of working from 9 to 5, you choose to work from 9 to 6. You now have a 45-hour work week and 27 hours that you could be doing other things. And just bear in mind that how you can address your mindset about free time versus no free time. You want to make sure that you are looking at look at your timetable. You see a space on a Tuesday afternoon, drop 3 hours there, put it purple in a nice block and say, this is my chemistry study time or whatever. All right. So don't just leave it blank because it gives you the impression in your mind that it's free. put it in your timetable. Use your phone, put it in your Google Calendar, and actually assign time in all these free spots, what looks like free spots, and put things in there and put it in your calendar. So when somebody tells you, hey, you want to go line behind the chemistry building, which students do, which I think I'm telling you shouldn't be doing, you can say, no, I have stuff to do. And you're like, but you don't have anything on your calendar on a Tuesday afternoon. I'm like, yeah, I don't have no class on a Tuesday afternoon, but I have lots of other things that I need to do because you put it in your calendar. And just to note, if sometimes you have important stuff happens, you have an exam, you have a project that's due, you have a lab, 3 labs that are due all at the same time, sometimes you need that extra time. So if you add on Saturday and Sunday for that boost of extra study time energy, you have way more time. Now, the advantage of doing this, like thinking about it like a job, is that, remember I mentioned that stress management and time management kind of go together. A large amount of what happens with stress for students is that they get overwhelmed because they get behind on assignments, they get behind on everything, and they just feel like there's nothing they can do, they can't catch up, and it's just too much. The point is, you want to do your work at work. So do your work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, 9 to 6. So you're on campus, you're working. When you go home, what you want to do, you want to garden, you want to watch TV, you want to do YouTube, you want to go to the gym, whatever it is you want to do, you have the time to do it guilt-free, stress-free, because you did your work at work. When you say you're going to do work in the night and I'll wake up early and do the work, let's be serious. It's not happening. All right. So by scheduling your study time as if, or your school week as a work week, which is what it is. If you're taking GATE, you're being paid to study. I mentioned that yesterday, right? So this is your job. So treat it like a job. You're not at school anymore. We call you a student, but really you've moved beyond that. You are now a lot more autonomous, and you have to take it as that. You have to be more autonomous and set up your business. You have your work week, and you do. I found that helped me so much when I was writing my thesis. I can't even tell you. I am a terrible procrastinator. I am, and it's something I fight daily. But doing this and putting blocks in my time, so I would get up in the morning from 9 to 12, I would work. 12 to 1 is lunch. 1 to 5 was more work on the thesis. And at 5 o'clock, I would turn off the computer and take my dog for a walk, go to the cinema, do whatever. And I was good. I had no stress because I had done the work during the work day. Instead of me having to stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning to do my work in the night. Why? And that's my number 1 tip about managing time. It really does make a difference. Right? So what you do, as soon as you have access to My Learning and your courses start coming on board, they will be putting up calendars, they will be putting up timetables. Write down as much as you can in your phone. If you're old school, you can get a piece of paper, get a piece of paper, write what are my days, what my lectures are, when are my assignments, when is everything due, so you're not taken by surprise, and you could put in things in order. So okay, I have 3 assignments due next week. I should put, in the end of September, I have 3 assignments due. From now, at the start of September, I'm going to put things in place so those things get handled. So I'm not completely underwater all the time. All right? So
this is dancehall, man. You have to sing for the girls. You have to big them up. Na 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 na. Everybody must work. Work. Everybody must work. Work hard. Cause if you're not working, you gotta be loafing. And if you're not loafing, then you gotta be joking. You must work. And don't be a jerk. Everybody must work.
That is what we are here to help you get to the point where you
out of street corner when you should be at school.
And that's it for me. Oops.
Thank you so much, Dr. Beckles. In lieu of time, could we go directly into the last round of Kahoots and then go on to registration information immediately after, please?
All right, cool, no problem. So here's our last round. So guys, I hope you're ready. Okay, so our last question. So this is our last chance, Salma, to unseat Priya. Let's see. This one is a tough one. We have a little button. All right. I don't know why you keep on. Anyway. Okay, so let's see. In third place, Aiden. In second place, Salma. And in first place, I do believe Brianna was able to maintain her lead. So well done. Good job, guys. Aiden, no prize for you. All right, cool. So I will share the overall so I think I should be able to, and before we finish, let's see. All right, now just so as you can see, here's the report. All right, so just so as you can see who are the top 10, because you will be getting a prize. All right, so our top 10 minus Aiden, so I will have to bring in my top 11. All right, you will be getting a prize of a $50 gift certificate to the bookshop, so you can spend it on whatever you like across there. All right, so congratulations. Oh my goodness, Amaya M. My thoughts are. All right, congratulations. Okay, so I want to jump straight in, stop share, to I'm going to switch hats now, and I'm switching to my academic advising hat. Because it's important that because I think it was Brianna had asked about whether we're academic advising was being groups or it's individual. We're doing it all. We do it both. And we're going to start with the academic advising. And I'm going to go jump straight in. This is all practical stuff. We're chemists, we're all about practical. So what do you have to do now? All right, so you need to get all your data together. You need your acceptance letter, you need your entry qualifications. You would have gotten those things scanned to upload for your application, so I know you have them. You will need to have them, not just the ones that you get online or did you take a screenshot. You need the one that you would have had certified by Notary Public, etc. The same one that you would have uploaded for your application. You need to decide on your program. And by the end of today, hopefully you are going to stick with Chem, but you may want to make a change, right? So you will have to be thinking about that as well. So first thing you might want to be thinking about is what courses should I take? You want to go to the FST web page. This is the landing page. The students corner, you click there and you will be able to click for new students, and that will bring you here. And you want to look at your academic advising guide, because that is going to tell you what kind of courses you need. As a chemistry person, you will be looking at level 1 courses for the single major, because we are not able to give you double majors at the start. but you can get 2 as well, as you'll see. So this is what the academic advising guide looks like for you as a chemistry student. So you're going to come, this is the very first page, and it will be right there in the middle. It's going to tell you what courses you need to take exactly. And it'll also tell you what next. And then in the corner, the foundation and foreign language requirements as well. Right? So what your overall chemistry major is going to look like in semester 1, you're going to have 1066, you're going to have 1070, you're going to have 2 level 1 electives, and that is going to be 9 credits because, like Dr. Pingle mentioned, Chem 1070 credits do not apply in semester 1. They show up in semester 2. In addition, you are going to, wrong order. In addition, you are going to need your foundation or foreign language course, depending. If you remember yesterday, if you have prior foreign language experience, as in CSEC foreign language, grade 1, 2, or 3, or CAPE foreign language, grades 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, you are not required to do foreign language. You would have to do foundation. And now something I want to point out before I get here, you notice that semester 1 is 12 credits. Even though there are 5 courses here, right? Remember, we are all about 5 courses. I mentioned this yesterday, but I'm going to re-mention it today. Do not let anybody tell you you've got space in your program because you have only 12 credits and you're supposed to be reading 15 every semester. This is 15 credits worth of work because you have 5 courses. The number 1 cause of sufferation and unfortunateness for students is overload. Do not let that, we do not allow that for the new students coming in. We want to make sure we get the best possible opportunity to get your feet under you. There will be semesters where you may have to do more than 5 courses in a semester. This is not that semester, right? And as I mentioned yesterday, I'm the one that has to approve those extra credits and I will not for you. So just understand, same, just letting you know that from now. In semester 2, as mentioned, you'll be doing 2 more chemistry courses, 1067 and 1068. And then the second half of the Chem Lab, as Dr. Pingle mentioned, as well as 2 more level 1 electives. That's going to be 15 credits there because the Chem 1070 credits show up in semester 2. But notice when you put it all together, you have what you need, 24 faculty credits, right? The 4, this is like, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all right? And 3 foundation credits. So what do you put in those electives, those 4 level 1 electives that you have? You can choose from this list. This list on the right will show up when you click on that bubble and get the academic advising guide, it will include this information. So you can choose from one of these or 2 of these or as many of these. I want to also point out the co-curricular courses that are also available. All right, you can do up to 6 credits. So in other words, 2 of them to add towards your degree. But you don't have to stick to these. You could also look at other faculty booklets and see if you have any level 1 courses that you can do and you want to do them, go ahead and do them. That's what electives are all about. All right. What if you are looking at your foundation? So foundation or FLR, just to reiterate, if you have your foreign language before you come in here, so you have one of these, then you want to take Foundation 1101 because you would have gotten your foreign language requirement done before you started. If you have no foreign language experience, then you must take a foreign language course. I want to make it clear, you do not take both. It's either one or the other, depending on your background in foreign language. All right? Now, if you're doing chemistry and management in the room, you will be clicking on the button that says Special Level 1 Courses for FST Special Options, right? This is what your form will look like, all right? And you will only be looking at the BSc Management, right? Chemistry and Management, that's our only special option. And it will tell you exactly what you have to do, all right? You can take a screenshot, you can write it down if you're old school, so you know exactly what you would have to do. So just to kind of summarize what your BSc Chemistry and Management looks like, you will see for semester 1, 12 credits again. Let nobody suggest to you that you put another course in there again by telling you, well, you know, you're short credits. You are not short credits. You have 5 courses there. There's a lot of work in that semester. No space for anything else. Also notice that where your chemistry major colleagues had 2 level 1 electives, you chemistry and management people, you do not. Your level 1 is completely set out for you. In semester 2, you will be doing some more chem, some more management, and a foundation, preferably found 1105. Please. All right. That's your 12 credits there, your 3 credits there, and you end up with the same result as your colleagues from majors. You have 24 faculty credits, 3 foundation or foreign language credits. All right. By the way, feel free to put your questions in the chat. There are people in the chat who will be able to answer you right off the bat. You don't have to wait for the end. You can ask them now, and please do fill out. So I want to make a very careful point here. We are not allowed, the UE doesn't give you 2 offers or double major offers off the bat. But if you came in chemistry and you would like to add another major, you can. You just would not be able to do it today, right? But you do need to plan for that, because you have to choose in these elective courses that you have. In these elective courses that you have, these 4 level 1 electives, that is where you're going to put any courses that are going to carry you forward to do a second major later. So how do you know which courses to put there if you're planning to do a double major? If you're planning to do a double major in chemistry, in the FST rather, you will just go to here where there's a list of common double majors. So for example, you will see biology and chemistry, or chemistry and biochemistry, chemistry and physics, chemistry and environmental science, etc., chemistry and mathematics. So if you want to do at the end chemistry, and just go to one of these bubbles and it will tell you what are the courses you need to take in order to be prepared to add another major later down the road. All right, you will not be able to make that change now, but you can prepare now. In fact, you must prepare now. All right, so if you do want to make a change, however, all right, you need to fill out your online academic advising form according to your program. So, and I will show you what the form looks like. But if you want to keep your major and add another double major, so you want to end up with a double major, right? So what you will need to do, you will click, I want to select accept my offer. You will choose appropriate courses from the guide. All right, you would have written them down. You took your screenshots. You will enter it into the form, and I'll show you how. You're going to submit your form, and when you get your notification that all is well, you register for the courses you have written down on your form. This does not happen now. Right? This happens now, but you will not be making the change now. You will make the change at the end of the semester. But what if you want to change your major to another major, or change your special to a major, or your major to a special? In that case, you will be doing pretty much the same thing, except you're going to say, I want to change my offer. And you will fill out the form that pops up. You will choose the appropriate courses, enter them into the form, click submit. When you get your notification, you register. The thing to note is that if you want to do either what's in this blue box or this gray box, the deadline for submitting that form is this Friday at 3 p.m. All right. Now, if you miss that date, it's not an issue. All right. You will need, Friday at 3 p.m. If you miss that date, it's not a problem. You will just have to do that change later. But especially for people who would like to change. So you had chemistry, but now you heard about chemistry and management. You're like, no, I really want to do that one instead. Those kind of changes between special to major, major to special, you want to get those in now. Right? So let us take a look at your online academic advising form. All right, if you want to do a double major with industrial chemistry, you don't have to do anything. Just operate as if single major chemistry and you add on the industrial in your second year. So we don't have to worry about that one at this point. What I want to do now, wrong one. Oh dear. Here we go. Right. I want to show you what the form looks like. So when you click academic advising form, you're going to get something that looks like this. This is a dummy form. This is not the one you will see. You will see something that says just minus the staff only, right? This is what you're going to do. So it's easy to fill out. We're going to start with the usual. Put your name, right? You put your email. You put your phone number if you wish. You put your student ID. Your ID number you get on your letter. All right? You need to input your qualifications. So you need to put your CSEC certificate in here. As I said, the one that has your certified version. What are you using to come in? Are you using CAPE results, pre-science results? You did an associate's, you had some other kind of qualifications. Whatever it is, you select. Most of you are going to be CAPE, so you're going to put your CAPE results here. All right, so I'm going to put in my university qualifications. Normally, you're going to have 2 for CAPE because you have 2 units. You can just add on another one here. All right, so you have your CAPE results in. If you don't put these in, you are going to get blocked and you're going to have to start, you get an email telling you, hey, you didn't put this. And, right, so just follow the instructions. And do bear in mind, if you don't do something that is required, it will not let you proceed. So then you're going to have to upload your acceptance letter. Please note you have 2 different kinds of letters you're going to get from UWI. You're going to get your offer letter. All right. The offer is where we tell you, we would love you to join us to do chemistry. We are inviting you to join us. You are offering you the opportunity to join. You must say, yes, please, and accept the offer. And when you accept our offer, then you get the acceptance letter. And the one you have to put up on the website is the acceptance letter. How you will know you're uploading the right document? The acceptance letter, and that one alone has your ID number on it. So if you're uploading a letter and it doesn't have an ID number on it, you're uploading the wrong one. All right, so please, your acceptance letter, you find it, you upload it, and this is where you have to now be going with your academic advising. So what program will you offer? Chemistry. That is coming from your acceptance letter. What does it say here? All right. What's your enrollment status? Are you going to be doing full-time or part-time? Bear in mind, part-time does not mean night or evening. Part-time just means you have less credits every semester. Your classes will still be during the day, during the regular working day, as everybody else. The part-time people do not have night classes. It's just fewer classes. All right, so full-time, most of you probably will be that. And lo and behold, the extract from the academic advising guide will show up here. So if you didn't write it down before, you can take your screenshot here, write it down on a paper, what your courses are supposed to be. Also note, it will also tell you what the foundation course that you are supposed to be taking or your foreign language options. So if you know you have to do the foreign language course, well, you choose one of these 4. It has to be one of these 4 for the FLR. If you already have CSEC Spanish, you don't need to do the FLR, then you're taking Found 1101 Korean Civilization. So all the information is here, so you don't have to go elsewhere to find it. In addition, all that list of additional level 1 credits. Because if we look here, we see we need to do Chem 1066, Chem 1070, either foundation or the foreign language, and 2 electives. All right. So it tells you your foreign language and foundation course codes here. a nice list of additional level 1 credits here. Again, we've seen this before. You can choose from this or get some extras. It's up to you. And then you have to write that in here. All right, so Chem 1066. You need to put in the course title. 1070. I can't remember if I'm saying it correct. I mean, you don't have to guess. It has the titles here. We put that in. I did CSEC Spanish, so I don't need to do foreign language. So I'm going to do Found 1101. That's Caribbean Civilization. And then I choose Phys 1001, Intro to Astronomy. Oops. And I love to read, so I'm going to go with Lit 1002, Intro to Prose Fiction. Now, if you are planning to do a double major outside of chemistry, so not people thinking about doing industrial, if you want to do chemistry and biology, for example, instead of putting in Phys and prose fiction, you would look on the academic advising guide for biology and see what courses you need to put for biology, and you would put those here. Similarly, whatever other option you want to add later, you want to make sure you are preparing for that by putting those courses in here. All right. Next, we click Next. And here we have the acceptance of offer question. I want to accept my offer. I'm good with chemistry plain. So I've completed my advising. They tell you go back and check, because once you submit, you will not be able to change. So just go straight back to the beginning. You can go back, just click the back button. Don't use the back arrow. Just click the back button and just make sure that everything here is correct. You uploaded your CSEC, you made sure you uploaded the correct letter, you've had the correct thing here, etc., etc. Right? And then you have the correct things here, and you're ready to hit submit. If, however, you want to change your offer, and you're only going to select, I wish to change my offer, if you want to change from chemistry completely, you want to not do chemistry and switch to something else. Of course, we all know everybody here is not going to want to do that. But if by chance you have a brain aneurysm and you wish to do that, that is one of the reasons why you would click, I wish to change my offer. The other reason is if you want to change from a major to a special. So you were doing chemistry, you heard all about this chemistry and management, now you're thinking maybe I want to do chemistry and management. Or you were doing chemistry and management, you hear about all this chemistry major and you're saying, nah, I want to do the general instead. If that is you, again, you click, I wish to change my offer. So I'm going to say, I want to change to chemistry and management. It sounds cool. All right. Now, because I'm telling people I want to make a change, you do need to go back to this place. And since I want to do chemistry and management, I'm not doing this anymore. Right? I'm not doing this anymore. I will need to put in the chemistry and management courses. I can't remember what the codes are. I'm just going to do some. I think it's 1002. And then I think it's accounts 1002. Right? So this is now here is for what I want to do later. All right? Because you're telling the dean's office, I want to make a change. So what you want to make sure that is here is the courses that are appropriate for the one you are changing to. And then you click submit. All right, after you went back and double check everything is correct, you click submit. And that is how you will fill out your form. If you have no interest in doing anything exceptional, then you just accept your offer as is and you move ahead. And remember, you only want to click, I wish to change my offer if you want to stop doing chemistry and change to something else. Whether it's a major, another major, or a special. If you just want to add a major later, you want to keep doing chemistry, but you want to add something later, you will only click, I wish to accept my offer, right? And then you have nothing else to fill out, all right? So just be careful with that one, all right? So that is really where your academic advising is. Now, somebody did ask, what if they wanted to speak to somebody separately? You can certainly do that by contacting the department. And at the end of the presentation, it has an email address you can use to contact the department. All right. So next, you want to go to your checklist and make sure you are following the CAR. This is where we are today. Yesterday, you were on number 1, faculty orientation. This is where we are today. After this now, you are now prepared to read about how to complete your forms. The form will become live on Friday morning, Friday afternoon. So you can complete the form, wait a few days for it to be processed, and then you can continue. Now you are early in the week, so take the time to read all of those links. Each of these links is clickable and will take you to more useful information. So read about how to register. We have Fresh Start on the 27th of August. That was really fun last year. I strongly recommend. There's going to be food. There's going to be the dean. He's not going to dance, but he's a really good speaker. There's tours of the departments, of the faculty. There's going to be all kinds of good stuff. And all of this time this week, while you're waiting for the form to get live, you can read more. Then you can register, pay your fees. Dr. Pingle has also missed the timetable, so you can check that out as well, and see where you are at for coming up in the semester. So after you have actually reached the point where you are ready to register, you want to click the registration guide button, and that will take you to the registration guide where it will tell you step by step exactly how to log into the student portal, how to access the My Learning, all those things, add courses, drop courses, ask for exemptions, ask for, not exemptions, for overrides. Everything you want to know about how to register for a class will be there. All right. And so with that, I will just say farewell. The chemistry department's email is on the screen, chemstudentsupport.sta.ub.edu. So if you, after you have had your advising session and had the opportunity to read everything, and you want to meet with somebody otherwise, that's what you do. So that's it for me. And people have been putting in their questions. Oh yes, please don't forget your feedback form. We really appreciate. Amina, if you do not have your Unit 2 results as yet, you upload what you have. All right. I heard that it's supposed to come, results are supposed to come out on the 20th of August. So that is going to be, you know, that's going to be next week. So if you need to submit your form today, this week, because you want to make a change, a major change, then you will have to submit what you have, and that's fine. If you're just going along cheerful, then you could wait if you want to wait, or if you don't want to wait, submit it again without. We are familiar with CXC and delayed results. But yes, the feedback form. So I'm going to let's stop sharing. So at this point, we are a little behind time, unfortunately, but the floor is open for anybody who has any additional questions. I know people have been putting stuff in the chat, and I know people have been getting answers. So that's good. So we have a 2 minutes, I guess, a 10, 15 minutes for questions if anybody has any additional, and then we go. Because I know some of you may be going also to the life sciences one, and I don't want to hold anybody up. How the winners will get their prizes. Okay, so what will happen is I don't know, I just talked to Miss, you can basically, we'll have a list in the office, and we'll have a list in the office, and you just come and say, you know, I want a prize in orientation, and you will get your your coupon. I don't know when exactly, Mrs. Josie Peters, when exactly that will happen. Probably not today.
Okay. Hi everyone. Prizes are available today.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm staggered. Oh, N1 people. Okay. N1, you have everything separate and apart from what I was talking about. You are not going through this process. You have something different. So you will need to check with the N1 office. So you email the dean's office and they will be able to help you with how N1 is operated. All that we talked about here is really about undergraduates, but it's still good that you're here because you can see after you're done with N1 what wonderful things await you in the Department of Chemistry. Now I'm going to show two more people on this list because Mr. Jessamy is not getting a prize. And Ms. Millette, I will fund her prize because really and truly, she's not yet a UWI student. So Kevin and Kishelle, you as number 10 and 11 become 9 and 10. All right. So our winners are going to be Brianna, Salma, James, Sharonelle, Jesse, Kyla, Ashley, Kevin, and Kishelle. All right. So your names, let me take a screenshot. Your names will be with the office. So at any point during working hours, you may come to the department and ask for your prize, and you will get it. Sharonelle, yes, you can do math 1125 even if you did pure math. It's not exempted. You don't have to take the exemption. If you want to do it, you can. Brianna, you want to submit the same kind of documents you submitted for your application. Okay, Brianna, you were N1. So if you were N1 and you have portion money to get back, you would have to that would be, I think that you bring it to, I think it's the dean's office. But, yeah. Jason is vigorously pretending. Yeah. And also, as I said, if you're thinking about adding another major, you probably want to go to that department's section as well, just so you can have an idea what they're. All right. Okay. So looks like we don't have any additional questions. Right. Okay. Well, with that, I will say farewell and I look forward. Now, by the way, I'll just let you know, you wouldn't see me in level 1. I don't start teaching until level 2. But, oh, thanks, Charlotte. So, Brianna, bring your portion money form into the chemistry office. Okay. I will see you in a year's time. But until then, feel free to check me out as Deputy Dean or just wandering the corridor. I'll be happy to say hey.
Thank you so much, Dr. Beckles, for your wonderful presentations and your great insight to help students along the registration pathway. And with that, I know we ran a bit over time, but I again thank you guys for your patience and your undivided attention. And I beg you again, please fill out the feedback forms. I've posted it in the chat numerous times. I'll put it one more time for good measure.
Jason, Amina wanted to ask a question, but she couldn't get her hand up.
Go ahead, Amina. You feel free to put on your microphone and talk with us.
Hi, good day. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Yesterday I know you talked about the advanced level credits, and I was looking at other ways to fill the 30 credits, and I had 2 options, and I wasn't sure on which option to pick, so I wanted to know if I could get advice on it. I either wanted to do the double major with the chemistry and industrial chemistry, or I was also looking to doing the 2 minors on analytical chemistry and industrial chemistry. Because I know the 2 minors is a wider variety, but with the double major, it'll be more favorable and more industry based. So I want to know if you have any advice on that.
Well, I would say you don't have to make that choice now. So you could talk to Dr. Ford when you run into him in the corridor. He is involved with the industrial major and minor. You could talk to me or Dr. Bent or Dr. Mohammed when you run into us in the corridor. We're involved in the analytical minor. So I think analytical is strong. You'll notice a lot of our graduates went that route in the videos we saw, but it's not the only part. As you also saw in the videos, there were other people doing other varieties of chemistry programs. So it really probably will come down to how you feel, but you have the time in your first year to come and talk to us and get a feel for what's going on before you make that choice, because you wouldn't have to make the decision until your second year.
Okay, thank you.